He likes to go to the same combinations, quite repetitively, whereas Crawford is unpredictable. And despite him not having the size, it's the shots that you don't see that.
This lets me know right there that I'm a threat to him. I'm a threat to him. I'm a threat to his legacy.
Canelo Alvarez, and that's just being honest. And I think what he has done in his career, he's proven it.
Terence Crawford sent a bold warning to Canelo Alvarez following their fight agreement, declaring his intent to shake up the boxing world. "I'm a threat to him and his legacy," Crawford asserted, exuding confidence. Already a dominant force across multiple weight classes, Crawford believes his unparalleled speed.
You doing good business. If I'm easy work, I heard him say I'm easy work. If I was easy work, you would take all that money that he's offering you. But yet and still, he want $200 million for Benavidez, and he want $150 million to fight me. So that just lets me know right there that I'm a threat to him. I'm a threat to him. I'm a threat to his legacy, because it would be crazy for a guy that started at 135 to come all the way up to 168, your weight, no catch weight, no none of that, and dethrone you. So, he got that in the back of his head.
Sharp technique and superior ring IQ will expose Canelo in the ring, setting the stage for a legacy-defining showdown. With the fight now confirmed, experts are calling it a captivating clash of styles. Canelo Alvarez, known for his powerful, precise combinations and elite counterpunching, poses a significant threat. On the other hand, Terence Crawford's unpredictability, sharp timing, and technical brilliance could allow him to exploit openings.
He likes to go to the same combinations, quite repetitively, whereas Crawford is unpredictable. And despite him not having the size, it's the shots that you don't see that hurt the most. And maybe Crawford can hit him with some unexpected shit. And because of the repetitiveness of Canelo, maybe he can time him. Maybe he can counterpunch with him, because Crawford is unbelievable at that. But I'm fascinated to see if Crawford has the power to get the respect of Canelo Alvarez, because when you don't, it's a long night. It's not nice. Like Crawford did well against Madrimov, and he won that fight for me quite clearly, but Madrimov was countering.
If he rids Canelo well. However, Crawford must prove he has the power to command Canelo's respect. Otherwise, the fight could shift in Canelo's favor. While Canelo's strength and experience at higher weight classes give him an edge, Crawford's adaptability might enable him to outscore his opponent in this intriguing showdown. Clips. Eddie Hearn recently ignited waves in the boxing world by confirming that a potential fight...
If you can counter the counter puncher, you can give them a lot of problems when they're not used to that. And Canelo can counter people really well. And as great as Terence Crawford is, we've never seen him in there with someone with the power of Canelo Alvarez. This is a different world of power. And look, maybe Canelo doesn't throw as many shots as he used to, and maybe Crawford might look at that and go, you know what, I'm going to try and outpoint this guy, not get into a war with him, but just show my boxing, genius, and outpoint him and outland him. That's possible. It is. This is why this is such a fascinating matchup, man. We've been treated to some amazing fights. Usyk Fury, for example, this is another one of those mega fights.
Between Jake Paul and Canelo Alvarez was under serious discussion. The idea of such a clash has sparked controversy among fans and experts alike, with debates centering on whether the matchup serves the sport of boxing or is simply a lucrative business venture. Let's break it down and uncover the layers behind this intriguing yet polarizing possibility. Canelo Alvarez has long cemented his status as one of boxing's greatest talents.
What he has done in his career, he's proven everything, right? His resume is unbelievable. And if you want to make 100 million to fight Jake Paul, right? Like the thing is about Canelo, you don't tell him he lies. He's very transparent, right? He's not going to try and justify this fight to you that, no, what I'm doing is I'm doing it to bring boxing to a wider audience. No, he's doing it for a sackload of money. So whenever you put an opponent forward to Canelo Alvarez, his question is, how much? And he's a businessman at this stage in his career, right? And at the end of the day, someone is offering him whatever it will be, 80 million, 100 million.
A multiple division world champion with a legacy spanning years, Canelo's accomplishments have placed him among the sport's elite. His ability to dominate opponents with powerful combinations, elite counterpunching, and strategic adaptability has made him a near unstoppable force in the ring. Because of this, Many fans and analysts argue that Canelo doesn't need to justify a fight with Jake Paul, a YouTube star turned boxer with a far less impressive resume.
120 to fight Jake Paul. A fight in which there is absolutely no risk. And by the way, you can't criticise Jake Paul, because the criticism for Jake Paul has always been, when are you going to fight someone decent? Well, guess what? He might be fighting Canelo Alvarez. I don't hate it. I'll be watching.
Maybe time to give up the belts though. That's the fight to take.
Yeah, maybe.
Hearn acknowledged this sentiment, but emphasized a different perspective, the business side of boxing. He noted that Canelo's priorities have shifted, suggesting that the Mexican superstar is now more focused on maximizing his earnings than chasing legacy-defining matchups. Hearn hinted at a staggering payday for Canelo if the fight were to happen, potentially exceeding $100 million. For Canelo, who has already achieved everything in the sport, the financial incentive might outweigh any concerns about his legacy.
Stage in boxing, no one's surprised that a fight like that's getting made. And I know you've gone out and said you do respect Jake Paul for getting in there. Canelo's a totally different beast to, a definitely out of his prime Mike Tyson. Just talk about how much respect you would have for Jake for taking that fight.
Only respect because of the money. I mean, he's not doing it for free. He's not doing it because he wants to prove himself as a great fighter. He's doing it for 100 mil as well, or whatever he's getting.
It's a very, very scary match.
It's dangerous, and he's going to get spanked.
How many rounds?
However many Canelo wants it to be. I mean, the only thing is, Jake's going to be a lot heavier and bigger. But listen, no disrespect to Jake's ability as a fighter. He's fighting Canelo Alvarez, who is one of the top fighters in the world. So, he's going to get spanked, but he's going to make a lot of money.
Hearn's comments shed light on a growing trend in boxing where entertainment value and financial gain often trump traditional competition. According to Hearn, give Canelo the money and he will fight anyone, further highlighting that the sport has evolved into a business-first industry. For Canelo, facing Jake Paul isn't about proving his skill. It's about seizing an opportunity to secure an unprecedented payday. Jake Paul, meanwhile, has become one of boxing's most polarizing figures. Critics have often dismissed him as a sideshow, arguing that his rise in the sport is built more on spectacle than substance. While Paul has amassed an undefeated record against a lineup of mostly non-boxers and retired MMA fighters, his detractors have pointed out that he has yet to face a truly elite opponent. However, Paul's defenders, including Hearn, argue that his willingness to step into the ring with a fighter of Canelo's caliber speaks volumes. While acknowledging that Paul would be a massive underdog, Hearn praised his courage, stating Jake has been criticized for not facing top opponents, but now he might fight Canelo. Even so, Hearn was candid about Paul's chances, admitting that the YouTuber turned boxer would likely lose badly against Canelo. But for Jake Paul, this fight isn't just about winning, it's about elevating his brand. Stepping into the ring with Canelo Alvarez, regardless of the outcome, would solidify Paul's position as a legitimate figure in boxing's mainstream narrative. It would also guarantee him a massive payday, ensuring that even in defeat, he comes out a winner financially. The potential fight represents a fascinating clash of contrasts. On one side is Canelo Alvarez, a seasoned veteran with a deep understanding of the sweet science and a track record of dismantling some of the best fighters in the world. On the other is Jake Paul, a novice by comparison, whose primary strength lies in his ability to generate headlines and draw massive audiences. From a stylistic perspective, the matchup appears one-sided. Canelo's experience, power, and technical prowess would likely overwhelm Paul, who has never faced anyone remotely close to his level. Canelo's ability to break down opponents with precision and relentless pressure would pose an insurmountable challenge for Paul, whose skills, while improving, are still rudimentary by professional standards. However, the fight's intrigue doesn't lie in its competitive balance, but rather in its ability to capture the public's imagination. A spectacle of a YouTube sensation challenging one of boxing's greatest champions would undoubtedly draw millions of viewers, making it a financial juggernaut. And in today's boxing landscape, where pay-per-view numbers often dictate the viability of a fight, the allure of such a blockbuster event is hard to ignore. For Canelo, the decision to fight Jake Paul would likely come with mixed reactions. On the one hand, it's an opportunity to secure a 9-figure payday without risking much in the ring. On the other hand, it could open him up to criticism from purists who believe such a fight undermines his legacy. Canelo has spent his career building a reputation as a fighter willing to take on all comers, from Gennady Golovkin to Sergey Kovalev. A matchup with Jake Paul might seem like a step down in terms of competition, leading some to question whether Canelo is prioritizing money over his legacy. But as Hearn pointed out, Canelo doesn't need to prove anything anymore. With his accomplishments already etched in boxing history, he has earned the right to dictate the terms of his career. The potential fight between Canelo Alvarez and Jake Paul is emblematic of a larger shift in boxing. Traditionalists may balk at the idea of a YouTuber sharing the ring with one of the sport's greatest champions, but the reality is that boxing has always been about entertainment. From Muhammad Ali's exhibition matches to Floyd Mayweather's crossover fights, the sport has a long history of blending competition with showmanship. In today's social media-driven world, where visibility often trumps credibility, fighters like Jake Paul have found a way to capitalize on their fame. By leveraging his massive online following, Paul has brought new eyes to the sport, introducing boxing to a younger audience that might not have otherwise paid attention. Whether purists like it or not, Paul's presence has injected fresh energy into boxing, creating opportunities for events that transcend traditional boundaries. For Canelo, fighting Jake Paul would be a calculated business move. While it might not enhance his legacy in the eyes of hardcore fans, it would solidify his status as one of the sport's biggest global stars. The financial windfall from such a fight could also allow him to focus on more meaningful matchups in the future, ensuring that his legacy remains intact.